Hi, I'm Anthony Lin, hybrid cloud specialist from Red Hat. We will be touching on the topic around operator certifications on the Red Hat Openshift container platform. This is going to be the first part of a two-part series that covers this topic. So the first question that you will perhaps be asking is, why will we want to certify? So there are many advantages on certifying. One of those will be around the versatile container development that we can achieve using the Red Hat Universal Base Image. The Red Hat UBI is built securely and can be effectively deployed anywhere. So we also have this portability across cloud environments. So there will not be any customer lock-in when it comes to choosing the particular cloud providers. So there is also a continuous monitoring for any issues or security problems with the particular image that we have. We will be notifying you of any new and known vulnerabilities when it comes to the images. There is also better global support from our Red Hat customer support because we are able to utilize TSA Net, and hence there is a improved enterprise support from both Red Hat as well as our partners. And most importantly, there is a improved market awareness for the operators itself because now it's inside the Red Hat software catalog. So let's have a look at the container certification workflow. This is the overview of the entire certification workflow process. If you look at it, the first thing that we will be doing is to be registering ourselves as a technology partner on Red Hat Connect. And then we will create an OpenShift container project and finish the pre-certification checklist. So that is the first piece that we will be touching on in this presentation itself. We will be looking at the rest of the steps in the second follow-up recording that we will be releasing in the future. So the actual certification workflow itself will start off by installing the Red Hat software certification on the Red Hat OpenShift test environment. And then we will be running the certification test suite and we'll be reviewing the results. Of course, if there is a failure, we will want to be able to troubleshoot and then retest again. But if everything seems to be running fine, we will want to submit the certification results and Red Hat will perform the results validation. Of course, if we see that there's issues in this phase, we will want to then go through the testing again by fixing the problems that we may encounter during the validation process. If everything is good, we will want to then publish the certification, which will then be deemed as certified and published by Red Hat. And from a day two perspective, if there is any update at all, we will want to then go through the whole certification process to have a newer version and release of the operator that will run on the Red Hat OpenShift container platform. So you can get more information by looking at the blog from Pramod. Pramod is the principal consultant at Red Hat. The information that we are going to go through today is based on the blog that he has written previously. So we'll go through the steps next. So as mentioned, there are a lot of different information that you can actually use in order to get more information around the certification process. This is one of the websites. If you're more interested in looking at the whole process itself, there are also GitHub repositories around certified operators from the Red Hat OpenShift ecosystem GitHub repo. We also have things around the operator pipelines. You're free to look at it and take a look at what are the stuff that is needed in order for you to be able to do these certifications. So one other things that you need to make sure as well is to have an environment, something like a Jump host. In my case, I have a Jump host that already has the prerequisites installed. So what are some of the clients, right, that you will need? You can see over here that I have cloned the certified operators Git repository. So we want to be able to ensure that the Git is installed on the client itself so that we can use it. You also want to be ensuring that Tecton itself is installed. So we have also installed the client in order for us to be able to leverage on the Tecton pipeline that we will have it inside the Red Hat OpenShift container platform. And of course, most importantly, OC, right? The OC client has to be there. So with this installed, you will be able to use the client for the certification process that will come in the later stage. So we will need to go to connect.redhat.com, where we will have to log in to our own account. If you don't have an account, you will need to create one. So in my case, I have already created one account, and you need to click on login for technology partners. So this is a new account that I've created, and you need to fill in information such as company details, partnership details, team details, etc. Right? So there are drop-down boxes that you have to select. You can invite members to your team. You have to review terms and conditions, etc. So this whole process itself is quite self-explanatory, right? You can go through all this information and create the account yourself. So in view of time, I am actually going to make use of an account that I've already created and populated with all the relevant information earlier. So let's just go back to this web page. Fill in the username and password, or we can confirm the account information. And we will be able to see information pertaining to our profile. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to start the product certification. So we will want to create a certification project. Click on create project. We want to certify on the Red Hat Openshift. Operator bundle image. We'll give it a project name. The publication option will be any of them, but in our case, we will want to select Openshift in product catalog. Then we'll hit create project. So there will be several tasks that we will need to complete as part of the checklist. We give the repository name. The GitHub repo will be myself. If we want to add any object YAML, for instance, things like image, pull secrets, config maps, you can just add it over here. Just click on the add button, and then you can just insert the Openshift object YAML. So in my case, I'm not adding anything. You want to give a repository summary. I'm just going to give some dummy information. And then you have to select the application categories. Could be things like application delivery, API management, application server, automation, right, for instance, but it's kind of up to you to select, right? So we'll have just 3 categories that you can put in. The supported platforms, let's say OpenShift container platform in this case. You can also do multi-select. Let's say OpenShift dedicated as well. The technical contact details, of course, I'm just going to put myself and save it. Looks good. So you'll see the new project over here, created less than 1 minute ago. So then we will want to attach a completed product listing. So I've also created one earlier, right? The product listing itself. So you just have to select, or you can create a new product listing if you want. So you just have to save it. So now we have it completed. If you look at the options for bundle data for testing, there are a few options, of course. So you could either test it locally with OpenShift platform, like in my case, I have a cluster, or you can, of course, test it with Red Hat hosted pipeline. So these are the few options that you can actually do. So to test our operator bundle, we also need an API key. So you can see over here that this is the container API keys. So we can hit generate a new key, and let's say we just call it demo project and just generate. So then we want to be able to keep this key itself. We just have to copy it to clipboard and save it. So this is actually the first 3 stages of onboarding. We will look at the next set of stages in part 2 of this recording. Thank you.